At least 30 bodies have been recovered after a migrant ship capsized in Maltese waters in the Mediterranean. Over 200 people were rescued by Italian and Maltese naval vessels. The migrant ship was spotted in trouble yesterday by a Maltese military aircraft 70 miles south of the Italian island of Lampedusa. It was the second incident that day. Coast Guards rescued around 500 people travelling in boats off the coast of Sicily. Well, coming less than a fortnight after more than 300 people died in a similar tragedy, the Maltese Prime Minister has warned the seas are becoming a cemetery for would-be migrants, and he's demanded the EU take action. Porrick O'Brien reports.
The port of Lampedusa and the tragic two-way traffic of the desperate scramble to Europe. One boat arrives and winches a body onto the dock, one of at least 30 recovered after a boat capsized yesterday. At around the same time, another boat gets ready to leave, carrying away some of the hundreds of people who died in the same way, but this from last week's tragedy. Yesterday, a vessel carrying more than 200 migrants got into trouble just before sunset. The boat was carrying Syrians and Palestinians. In the confusion of the rescue attempt, hard to make out detail. Toddlers lifted onto deck. On board the rescue vessel, a father holds his child tight. On land, another carries his son down the gangway, then tries to hold it together on the bus to the reception centre. Today, the Maltese Prime Minister said the Mediterranean was becoming a cemetery and that the European input had amounted to just empty talk.
It is good that this is being brought up at the European Council meeting, and very good that there will be a discussion. But with only discussion, we will get nowhere. Talking is not enough.
He went on to say his country was dealing with a continent-wide problem alone. We put that to the European Commission. Why do you think Malta feels abandoned by Europe?
Well, it's clear that in the aftermath of such a tragedy, everything is very emotional, and up to a certain point it's also to be recognized that many member states could do more to show solidarity and support with the Mediterranean.
Are you saying the Maltese Prime Minister is just being emotional?
No, I'm saying that there is a lack of solidarity between member states, and this is absolutely a point of view that we share. But at the same time, we have to be clear on the fact that support and solidarity is shown on the basis of what is requested by member states.
It's up to the country that asylum seekers are arriving in to deal with them. The EU External Border Control Agency, Frontex, gives assistance when requested. But with the squeeze on EU coffers, the agency's budget has been cut by 28% in the last 2 years. These tragedies have now forced this issue onto the agenda at the next European Council meeting of leaders at the end of the month in Brussels. The politics of this, of course, won't mean much to the families just happy to be alive after yesterday's tragedy. It will mean nothing at all to the children who lost their lives in last week's one. Unidentified, just numbers, leaving for Sicily and a grave on Italian soil without a name.